India's broadcast industry will soon have to comply with a slew of new regulations which have been cleared by the cabinet. The INB ministry insists that some of the new guidelines on uplinking and downlinking signals, like the 5-year validity of news licenses instead of the current 1 year, are aimed at making permissions and operations easier for companies. But there are a few guidelines that are giving broadcasters heartburn. One of these is the requirement that channels, whether news or sports or general entertainment channels, air public service content for at least 30 minutes a day. The guidelines specify 8 themes for these broadcasts, which include health, education, agriculture, and women welfare.
A lot of uncertainties here. Firstly, can this be shown, in phases of 5 minutes throughout the day? That's one. Secondly, we don't know that, whether it has to be shown in the night or morning or what time slot of the day. Thirdly, can this be integrated, because you already have a lot of content which is of national interest in the form of, TV shows. You've got reality, large scale non-fiction content. You've got films as well. So a lot of clarity is still awaited.
The cost of producing and airing this content is another point of confusion. Broadcasters say producing such content, especially if regular or existing content is not counted as eligible, will add to expenses. They point to difficulties in monetizing such content and a weak revenue mobilization environment as added pressure points.
Informational programming that is, that may have programming around education, spread of literacy, have to pay carriage fees to a distribution platform operator. There are also restrictions on price for your channels that can be charged, so they cannot recoup investment there. Your ability to realize revenues is constrained because you have price ceilings on what you can charge for your channels. Now, if there's a down market, advertisers are just not spending as much, etc., then that's an added economic burden.
There is some hope that the government will step in either by subsidizing the costs involved or diverting some of the DAVP's budgets to sponsor such programming, but there is no clarity on this yet. The new guidelines have also left sports channels disappointed. They were expecting a waiver on the 1 lakh rupee processing fee incurred on each live telecast, but this has not been forthcoming. Sports broadcasters say this processing fee will increase cost of production by nearly 5 crore rupees per sporting event.
The broadcasters already purchased the rights to these events at an extremely high cost. Cricket is not the only thing to sport. There are so many other things. There are already many profit pressures on the linear TV business model. Regulators are interested in incentivizing the entry of participants into the game. Unfortunately, a principle of this sort, while it might do something for raising revenue for the government of India, creates a disproportionate disincentive.
The INB ministry says that it will meet with stakeholders before issuing detailed guidelines, and the industry hopes it will get more clarity on numerous aspects of the new rules soon. Indications are that stakeholders may also push for rules and policies that incentivize broadcasting to produce such programming rather than a command and control approach. In Mumbai with Shibani Gharat, Shilpa Ranipeta.